So, Helldivers 2 just released their most difficult mission ever in the history of the game yesterday. It's called Rapid Acquisition, and you have to basically just gather a bunch of platinum ingots and put them in this container and then extract all within 15 minutes. And it is just non-stop chaos and explosions, tons of like factory striders and war striders, and it's probably some of the most intense, chaotic matches I have ever played in the game ever. And I wanted to just go over this new mission type, give you my thoughts on it, the pros and the cons of this new mission type, and then give you guys some tips and pointers that I found to help me out when I was trying to complete this mission type. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, then consider giving me a thumbs up because it helps out the channel. And let's just jump right into it. So I want to start off talking about the things that I like about this mission type, because I do like it. I think it's fun, it's enjoyable, but it does have some issues that I'm going to get into. So it's going to sound like I'm really dogging on this mission type, but I just want to say here at the front that I enjoy it. It's just there's some problems with it that I'm going to address. But let's get into the things that I like about it first, starting with the fact that it is so difficult. Like, when you've been playing the game as long as I have, and you've been level 150 for like over a year plus, a lot of the stuff's, you know, you've seen it all. You've done everything multiple times. You've leveled up your character. You have everything unlocked. There's not really much challenge anymore when you've done it so many times. And this mission definitely adds a challenge. They didn't have to add a whole new difficulty mode like Helldive 11 or anything. They just made this mission type just so unbelievably hard. And I like the fact that it's designed with teamwork in mind. Like, they want you to work together as a squad to complete this mission, because if you try to do it solo, I think it's impossible. I think I've already seen some people on Reddit claim that they've beaten it solo. I've tried everything under the sun to try to attempt it solo, and it's too stressful. I give up. It is just non-stop explosions. I've tried smoke, I've tried electricity, I've tried everything. I cannot do it solo. So they want you to do it as a squad. And once I did play it, like with a squad, I played it with my friends, then I played it online with some just randos, and it was a lot more doable and a lot more fun doing it as a team rather than trying to do it by yourself. So I like the fact that they have this mission type that is specifically designed with teamwork in mind. So I think that's pretty cool. Another thing I like about this mission type is that it's so chaotic. There's so many explosions and moments where you're like stuck with your back against the wall and you have no other option but to just stand and fight. And it reminds me of the cover art where you see the Helldivers and they're like standing together and they're like pushed up on like a hill and they have nowhere else to go and they're fighting to the death. And there's a lot of those moments in this mission type, which I think is pretty cool. And another thing I like about this mission type is that it forces you to use stratagems and strategies that you wouldn't normally think to use. So I've seen a lot of people use smoke and stuff. So smoke, it's never really been that useful in this game, let's be honest. And now a lot of people are using smoke, which, you know, it's nice to see some stratagems and different strategies and weapons get used that don't normally get used. And I gotta mention that a couple months ago, this mission type wouldn't be possible due to just how glitchy the game was and how bad of a state it was with performance. With this many explosions and stuff going on in the game, it would completely crash your game or even your computer if this was just 2 or 3 months ago. So you can tell the performance has come a long way because this mission type is so chaotic and has so many explosions. It's nice to see that the game can finally handle it. So that's another pro that I want to point out. And I also like the fact that we have a mission type that we can kind of strive for. Like, it's completely optional. There's so many missions in this game now that if there's one you don't like, you can very easily avoid it and do like one of the 20 other mission types that you can do against any of the factions. So I like that there's one right now that's just so unbelievably hard that it gives you that option of, okay, guys, let's go attempt this. Let's see if we can beat this. And it gives you and your friends a goal to try to beat this mission. Like, you know it's unbelievably hard, so let's test our abilities and see if we can pull it off. So I like the fact that this exists in the game. So since I talked about the things that I liked about this new mission type, now I want to talk about the things that I don't really like as much and I would like to see get changed over time, if the developers are listening. First off, there's 2 map variations that can spawn on this new mission type. There's one variation where the ingots will spawn on like 2 different sides. So half is on one side and half is on the other side, which that by itself is already crazy hard to pull off. But there's a second map variation where the ingots will spawn in 3 different areas, and it's broken up into thirds. So you have to go to point A, get all the ingots, bring them back to the center, and then once that's cleared out, you have to go to the second area and then the third area, and you have to do all this in 15 minutes. And that map sucks. It is awful. It is so unbelievably difficult. I have never once completed it. I don't think I will ever complete it because they send so many enemies at you from all different directions. Once you finally get hunkered down and you have your defenses set up and you have an area cleared out, you have to immediately move on to the next area. But the problem is that the enemies are spawning in all directions. So it's very hard to go from point A to point B to point C and do all of this within 15 minutes. It's just, I think they need to give you more time for this mission type. I think, honestly, it should be at least maybe 25 minutes because there's so much going on. I've made some progress with gathering the ingots, but I'm so pushed for time that I just can't kill all these enemies while also carrying the ingots, because you can't defend yourself when you're carrying all 30 ingots. So the less players you have, the harder it is, and it's just borderline impossible due to how many enemies are spawning in so little time they give you. And another thing is that they give you a set number of ingots. So if any of the ingots get lost or blown up and they go flying or they fall through the map, you're screwed. Mission over. You're just going to waste time looking for the ingot that you can't find. So I think they need to give you extra ingots in case some of them get lost or missing, or somebody was carrying one and they died and then they forgot where it was. You can't take the time to go looking for the lost ingots because there's just so many enemies that are coming at you. So they need to give you way more ingots to make up for the fact that 1 or 2 of them could go missing. Which leads me into my next complaint with this new mission type, is that the ingots can straight up glitch out and fall through the map. So this has happened to me 2 different times now. At one point, I was throwing a bunch of ingots to my teammates, and my teammates were picking up the ingots and carrying it back to the objective. And for some reason, it would say pick up ingot, and you would go to pick it up, and nothing would happen. So I was like, well, wait, what? And then I would pick up an ingot after fidgeting with it for a while, and I would be carrying it, and then suddenly my guy would just drop the ingot on his own without me touching any buttons. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? And then suddenly all of the ingots fell through the map or just straight up disappeared. And then you can't complete the mission if there's no ingots. So not only is it hard, not only are you on a time crunch, not only can you lose the ingots and just lose track of them and not complete the mission in time because of it, but the ingots can also glitch and then you just can't complete the mission at all. So you have all these different scenarios that can happen where you can just fail the mission and it's completely outside of your control. So this mission type is fun, but it's definitely buggy and glitchy, and I think they need to do some balancing and stuff to just make it a little bit easier for you to complete it. Which brings me to my next complaint, that as soon as you spawn, as soon as you land in, they're already calling in reinforcements. So before you can even call in your stratagems or call in the main objective and get yourself in a position to defend the objective, they've already called in tanks and war striders and factory striders, and it's how do I even remotely get close to defending the objective when there's 3 factory striders already? And the factory strider seed, believe it or not, is easier. You want them to give you factory striders, because if they give you the war strider seed, you can legit kill 5 war striders back to back to back, and then they will spawn 6 more war striders. So you're just in this constant barrage of grenades, and then they'll ragdoll you with their laser beam attack. So you just are constantly battling the the physics in this game where you get knocked down, you stand back up, you get knocked down again, and then you just bounce into walls, and it's just, there's too many war striders. So what I think they should do is that when you're trying to defend these objectives and you're trying to gather the ingots, the enemies need to spawn further away from you. They keep spawning the enemies literally right on top of your head. Like, I will be carrying these ingots to the canister, and they will drop a tank or a factory strider or like 3 war striders directly on top of me. And it's like, how do I possibly defend myself in this scenario? I have an iron ingot in my hand, and I'm trying to like carry it, so I can't shoot my weapons, and they just dropped a tank on top of me. I don't know. It's chaotic. It's fun, but there's definitely some issues with it. They definitely need to spawn, like, if they're going to spawn a factory strider, spawn it outside of the area and let it walk into the main objective. Don't drop a factory strider on top of the objective. So now that I've talked about the pros and the cons of this mission type, let's go over some tips that I found that helped me out when I was playing this new mission. Starting with smoke. So smoke grenades, the orbital smoke strike, the eagle smoke strike, any sort of smoke will help just cover the battlefield, and it will, like, the automatons will lose track of you, so that will help you like carry the ingots back to the main objective, because they'll just be looking for you while you're in the smoke. So if you just keep throwing down smoke, I brought the supply backpack with me, so I just kept refilling my smoke grenades, and I would just throw smoke at the ground. Another thing is gas, so you can combine smoke and gas. That way it will blind the enemy and they'll be confused. So I was using the gas mines. Those are pretty useful. The gas strike has a pretty quick cooldown. So I was combining the orbital gas strike with the orbital smoke strike, and that was pretty helpful. Then I also found that the Tesla tower was pretty useful. So just take the Tesla tower and just toss it far away from the objective, and then that will kind of draw the aggro to the Tesla tower. So it'll take some of the numbers away from you to relieve some of the pressure. So the Tesla tower is definitely useful in this mission type. And then the sentries, so the rocket sentry and the autocannon sentry, those do a great job at helping like take out the Hulks and like some of the factory striders and war striders and stuff. I was playing with my friend. We were doing duos, and one of the most successful runs we had, we brought just nothing but sentries. So he had a rocket sentry and an autocannon, and so did I. And then that was doing a great job at just keeping us covered. And then while those sentries were taking out all the enemies, we were kind of just passing the ingots back and forth, and then, you know, completing the objective. And then the last tip is that you can throw the ingots. So we were kind of creating a train of, like, I would pick up the ingots and toss them forward, and then my friend would pick up the ingots and then carry them the rest of the way. That way you don't have one person just slowly, you know, picking up every single ingot one at a time. It just worked out better that way. And then while the one person is trying to carry the ingots, the other people can try to provide cover and, you know, relieve some of the pressure of that person that's carrying the ingots. So if you're playing in a group, make sure you have one person probably dedicated to the ingots and the rest provide covering fire, and then make sure to kind of toss the ingots towards the objective. And it's just easier if you throw the ingots. It kind of just helps speed up that process. But that's going to do it for my thoughts on the new rapid acquisition mission type. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. If you have any tips or pointers for other players, then let me know down in the comments, and I'll be sure to give it a heart. If you have any like complaints or suggestions to make this mission type better, then also let me know down in the comments. I like to read all of the comments. And that is going to do it for me, guys. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications. Give this video a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So bye-bye.